Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Boom. And it's that time of the week again for the Rant. And today we're going to be talking about the distribution dilemma. So stick around for the next hour. We're going to kick it off with something really old school, just to kick off some music. Are you ready to rock? Let's oge. What's going on, everybody? Oh, I better stop that right there. So you're doing well. Welcome to the show. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS. It is time for the rant. Why did I start off with that really obscure song? Because we're talking about distribution today, and I'm going back through some history. See that? I still have The original demo, right? That was the first serious band I was in back in 1993. Look at that. It's a cassette. Yeah, there you go. See, even writing on the cassette, little booklet we made, all on the cheap, right? Look at that. Old school, yeah? Remember those days? Many of you maybe not, because maybe your music journey only started a long time ago. Yeah? So I drew that artwork when I was a kid. Yeah? Cool stuff, huh? So, and look at all these. I have all these demo tapes of when I was a kid. Look at them all. All these little demo tapes of when I was a kid still lingering around and all this kind of stuff, because music distribution has been in my blood for a very long time, and I feel like I'm not an expert on it, but I'll tell you what, I do enjoy it. I'm a big fan of it. In whatever form it is. Back in the old days, it was, tape trading. It was all tape trading. Back in the old days, here in Australia, you couldn't get like bands like Morbid Angel and all these death metal bands and stuff like that. You tape traded. There were people out there who had sheets of paper. Can you believe it? Sheets of paper with like tapes of albums and stuff and live recordings of bands like Carcass and all these metalheads and Metallica and stuff. Because we didn't have the stores here to sell that stuff. Mainstream wasn't selling metal records, and you had to tape trade. You had to phone these dodgy people. You get this piece of paper and phone them and buy cassettes and all this kind of stuff. And that was the way music was. And you think about it even further back. I'm just talking about my lifetime. I can only share experiences from my lifetime, because that's what it's going to be about. And the way the distribution industry, the music industry has changed. And should you get involved? Let's say hello to folks here, and then we'll dive into it. I'm going to play a couple of songs during the show today to pad things out a bit. We've got Pete Johns coming up after this with YML, where he plays your music live. And also, today's featured artist is here in the chat today, PAL, Paul, who's another fantastic artist who should be played. Ed B. Metal's in the house. Boom. He's got all the tapes of terrible quality audio. Yeah, I still have my friend. Princess is driving by, lurking, cooking. Seagull Rock Squawks in the house. Jenny Jolivet. There's Paul there. We've got Pookie Ann. Pookie Ann. Love you, Pookie. That was creepy. I love being creepy. Does anyone else like being creepy? I love being creepy. Thomas Christ is here. The man, the myth, the legend. Who else is in the house with us? Cy Effin is here today. Hello, Cy. Good to see you. I'm making sure I'm trying not to miss people. I saw lots of other people that I've probably... Pete Johns. Hello, Peter. Peter. Joe and Barry Glenn are in the house as per. Good to see you guys back. I hope you're feeling better. Covered by CQ. Hello to you. If I've missed you, I'm a bitch. I'm an idiot. And I can't get to everyone, and I'll try and say hello as we go through the show. Creepy is good, isn't it? Creepy is good. I love being creepy. Not creepy and like... Don't take me out of context here. All right, before we get on to it, now it is, and the last hot day for a little while here. They're saying it's going to get up to 39 degrees here. It's already stinking hot in the studio. So if I start sweating profusely, please forgive me. I couldn't even have a coffee today. I've had to make an iced coffee because it's so brutal. Last night in this studio, before I went to bed, I checked the thermometer, and it was 41 degrees Celsius in this studio. I can't even tell you how hot that is, guys. I can't even tell you. All right, let's talk about distribution. Now, getting back to these cassettes and stuff like this. I started very young in distribution, and used to actually work for a record label myself. In the warehouse, wouldn't you believe that? In a warehouse, packing records that were ordered by shops. That was one of my jobs for a period of time. I know, cold acre, don't even get me going. So I used to work for a small, very small independent label here in Australia. I've worked at shops that, record stores that were very indie shops. Cold acre will know what I'm talking about. Now, particular shop, I didn't work there for a long period of time, but I did help out and a few times, yeah. It was a casual thing, let's say. I got fired because I was not a bloke enough. I was a guy. You're not a guy, are you? Anyway, but the industry, I've had some experience in the industry. Hello, Fat Panda Cat. With records and record distribution and just the smallest things that you wouldn't even think about doing these days, like postering a wall or postering a telegraph pole. Is there anyone out here who's done that, who has gone out and taken posters late at night with your tape and wrapped it around the pole and gone on to the next one at 2 a.m., wrapped your posters around the pole, hoping the fuzz won't get you? Yeah? It's all distribution, it's all promotion, and it's all tied in to getting your music out there. And it's amazing that people still go out and do that stuff, even in this digital era. So let us know if there's anyone here who has done the postering runs late at night, postering the polls. God, that could have come out the wrong way. Paul says, worked in a record shop from 1977 to 1984. So you would know some of the bullshit that goes on in the music industry, because there is a lot of bullshit that goes on in the music industry and under our noses, and it feels like more and more increasingly that we are the ones who are getting screwed as musicians. But let me let you in on a little secret. I know this will probably shock you, but it's fucking always been like that. Right? Don't for 1 second sit there and think that it's like, oh, Spotify, how dare you only give me this much money? It's always been like that. The record labels have always been out to like suck from you. You are the product that generates, and they offer the thing to get you out there so more people can listen, so they can get more money. They mostly don't give a fuck about you, and it's always been that way. And Brad Example can tell you right here, he's been involved in it for a while too. And I know a few people around this community who have been around the industry, have played gigs, have been on tour with big bands, have supported international acts like myself, done all this kind of stuff. Yes, vinyl records are making a comeback, definitely. I still have some vinyl that I've released. And as I said, I have all these demo tapes here. I keep everything of stuff that I've done. Demo tapes. Look at this. I've even got a Gladys Worthington CD. Yeah, Gladys Worthington CD. I keep all my shit over the years. Look at this. I have this big package here, this big envelope. Look at this. I have in here flyers from my old band. Yeah? Here you go. This is the shit that I'm talking about. You would go out and put these things on telegraph poles. Look at this. Despised Head Rush Suicide at Bell Street Rock, Friday 31st. All right, so I got a couple of those in there. What else have we got in here? Look at these big flyers. I think I drew these ones. So we got this one. Despised Elevator Music for Acrophobiacs with lobotomy scars at the Art House. We got Force Fed, Despised at the Royal Artillery Hotel, August 8th. God knows where these, I can't remember what year these were. I got stickers. We used to have all these stickers and we put around. Look at that one. What is going on in that sticker? I have no idea why. Whoever made that sticker for our band. Elevator Music, Sarah Sands Hotel, the 22nd of... But this is all a part of distribution and promotion. It's all tied in together. This is the reason I'm showing her all this stuff. I got so much crap in here. Even got... What's this? Spies, da-da-da-da. What else do we have? I've even got, look at these, cutouts of gigs that are reviews of gigs. Would you like me to read out this review for you? Let's see what they wrote about me. All right, Despise was the first band with new vocalist Jade, about the most unusually presented person in the metal, thrash, punk and hardcore band scene since Smear from Depression. Despise definitely stood out. Jade gives older Despise stuff such as Feardom and they got the name of the wrong, Self-Dependency and Extra Lift. And on some of the newer stuff, little jazz licks and calypso bits do wonders for thrash bits. Despise could well be the type of band that the local metal scene needs to kick some life back into it. Yeah, well, that wasn't true, was it? Because nobody understood our music at all because we were too fucking intense for people. But, so the reason I'm starting out here and building up to like digital distribution is important because this is the thing. We live in an era where people seem to just like put out a song and then go, it'll just do itself. I don't need to do fucking anything else. It'll just work its magic and I can kick back and count the big fat Benjamins. It's all going to be rolling. It doesn't work like that at all. It doesn't work like that. And like I seem to see a lot of people releasing music into one community only, one form of medium only, like YouTube, expecting that like all these millions of people are going to join this YouTube community and then take their music to another level. That's not going to work. This is a very small and niche community that it just is not going to happen. If you think it is, you're absolutely deluding yourself. I'm sorry to be the one to break the bad news to you, but somebody has to because it is what it is. I hate that saying, but it just is. Hello, Viv Sparrow. What's going on? All right. Now, Viv here's somebody else who's been played in the music industry for a long time, done a shit ton of gigs, right? Knows what she's doing, yeah, has played with people, named people, has been asked to support big name people, knows what's going on, has seen it from the ground level. And it's not all, sunshine and lollipops. So I just want to tell you a little story about something which I found really endearing and it really kind of primed me to talk about this today, about distribution, stuff like that. So this week just gone, I got the privilege to go out with somebody who's in the music industry, yeah? Like deep, entrenched in the digital distribution music industry, right? And I found it utterly endearing, just really, really amazing. When we were out and we went to dinner and hung out and, right, that while we were walking down the street, every now and again this person would stop and go, wait a minute, and grab their little thing and go, peel it and stick it on a telephone pole. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was putting little stickers of QR codes on telegraph poles. Even now, right? And these QR codes led to their landing page on DistroKid. And I found that absolutely and utterly endearing and gave me hope in the music industry that people are still doing this. People are still going around and releasing their music digitally, putting it out there on all these platforms, but still, while walking down the street after having dinner, turn around and have these little stickers, and they're still doing that old school plastering of their product, even though it's digital, on a telephone pole. And I was like, so why do you still do that? Why is that a thing for you? And it was like, because you can try to take the old school promoter out of somebody, the old school ways of doing things. But there's a reason that those things worked. So, I mean, if you completely, I think too, it was very humanizing too, to see somebody who's so entrenched in the digital music industry still using these techniques that we used to do when we didn't have the internet. And I found that really powerful, and like it made me get to thinking about, yes, why do so many people just release music on, say, Apple and Spotify and then just go and walk away and that'll do its own thing? There are so many ways to promote your music outside of, even though we are in a digital world these days, there are so many ways to do this. And the old school ways, there's a reason why they work, why they are lingering, why there are still posters being put up. And Russ, you know this too. Russ has been really involved in this. I've had Russ on the show multiple times, and he's talked about, the old school days, the music he used to make, and he did all this stuff, plastering posters everywhere and doing all this stuff. It is still irrelevant, right? You may think it's not, but hey, you never know who's going to walk past some pole with their phone and see a random QR code and go, You just don't know. Like, this is the music industry, yeah? Artists get signed and get picked up. Oh, it's completely different than what it used to be, but in really strange ways. And I've talked about here on this channel the time I had a huge run-in with a huge producer. And for all this time, I was like, how am I going to get signed? How am I going to get signed? And I tried everything you possibly can. I tried so many things to try and get signed and try and get people to pay attention to my music. And the one moment where it all came down to where I was about to get signed by possibly the biggest producer in Australia, it happened in a way I can't even talk about because I would love to, but yeah, it was so weird. It's so surreal that, because here it is, it's who you know, yeah? It's who you know, and sometimes you just run into people in weird situations, and that can help you. How do we gain stage our tracks before balancing levels in Audioscope plugin? That's an entire show and something I'm not going to answer here. So, yeah, I'm sure you've watched my 2 videos, but yeah, I'm ranting at the moment, so I don't know. Russ, do you want to handle it? You can handle it. You know about gain staging. Off you go, Russ. You're a moderator. Handle that question for me, will you? Cheers, Russ. Good job. Good job. Russ is an expert in gain staging, aren't you, Russ? Not that it's different to people who had a demo tape, drop it off the 3 stations and give up. You had the people who do anything to get it out there, just enthusiasm. You know what? That's it. Banging on doors, knocking on doors, continually pushing and pushing and pushing. Look, how many bands are there that have made it big who suck? So many. So many. And I'm telling you, from my experience of being around people in the industry who are responsible for signing artists and this kind of thing, they joke about it. I don't give a shit. I just may as well say it. They joke about some of the artists that they've signed who are doing massive. Peter Andre. Let's just pick somebody out randomly. Peter Andre. Some people will know who Peter Andre is. Some people won't know who Peter Andre is. Okay? Peter Andre, garbage. Absolute garbage. Right? But was selling so much music. And amongst the industry, the guy was an absolute joke, just a total wanker. And nobody wants to listen to his music, but somebody was buying it. But the guy was persistent. The guy had the right time, the right, so I'm heading down a completely different path here. Give me a second. Get my bearings, recenter. Let me see. Hobbs says, I remember the old days of sending out demos on Chrome cassettes to record companies and trying to chase them up. Yeah, it's not going to happen because the way it worked, listen, I'll give you an insight. I'm going to give you some insight here that, trust me, is real. It just is real. People who are responsible for signing artists don't sit there waiting for cassette tapes to come in. It's never been to that point. Like, what they do have is they have a network of people that they know very well who go out into the music scene and see gigs, right, and are entrenched in particular music scenes. And these people are friends with those and trust those people. And so when one of those friends within this network says, hey, I saw this band on Friday night and they were sick, then that particular producer or, person in management of a label, of looking A&R or whatever, they go, hey, thanks for that. I know you. I know your taste. I know how entrenched in the music industry you are. I'm going to listen to that and I'm going to go and find that and check that out. And then they might say, yeah or no. I've known really big producers who've come to my house and stuff, which for reason, I'm not going to say why, and they've always had a fucking CD in their back pocket with no case on it and just gone, I got this CD here, chuck this in the CD player. And I'm like, what is it? He goes, I don't know, some band from fucking the US. Put it on. Someone told me they're good. And gone, oh, wow, okay. Because it is this whole hearsay pass on. People aren't sitting there listening to cassettes and going, yes, no, and no. It just doesn't work like that. So many cassettes end up being piled up and never listened to. It just has always been that way. I think it's a myth from what I've been told from people I know, that is a little bit of a myth. I'm sure there's been earlier on more people get signed through things like that. But it is all through networks of people that, people know who they trust, that is just the way it rolls. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, if you think I'm wrong, but that's the way it works. Hey, 15th Bend, what's going on? All right. It is our halfway point. Let's run the ad. And then I'll play another song from one of my old demos. I'll torture you with another song from one of my old demos for a bit of a laugh. In fact, I'll play something from that same demo for a laugh. Let's run the ad. So every day here on the channel, we run an ad for YouTube. Pay the bills. I've run the ad. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium member, or you'll get served an ad, or you won't get served an ad, and that is the way it is. So let's play another song from this demo of mine back from 1993. And let me tell you a quick story about this, because this is the weird thing about releasing music. You release music and you may think, this is the best song I've ever done. Everybody's going to love this song. And guess what? They don't. They don't. So, most of the time you release music, it's always the song that you fucking hate the most that people end up liking. The one you hate playing. And then you have to play that song forever because everybody loves it so much. And this song for me in my band in 1993 was a song. We were recording this demo here, 1993, and we had Dripping, Follow Me, and Daddy, and we were like, man, we need to write a song. We need a fourth song. So in the studio, within 2 hours, we wrote this shitty song right here called Septic Midas. And in my opinion, is one of the worst songs I've ever written in my life. Not according to our fans, who every gig were like, Septic Midas, Septic Midas. And we had to play this song and close the show every gig for years and years and years. And I hate this song so much, so I'm going to play it now because I hate it so much. Let's Oj. We'll be back in a second. You ready? Septic Midas.
The
flush. No homo. Anyway, so the proof that crap songs can do really well. All right, let's get into the meat. Let's talk about digital distribution. Before I go on, I need to disclose some things. I have come to a revelation over the last week. So it's interesting. On this channel, I have a sponsor, and I have had people send me gear to review that I've never paid. They've never paid me to review things, right? But they've sent me gear and they have no say in what I think of it or anything like that. But in saying that, let me tell you, the gear that I do review, I normally have already read up heaps on, and I have reached out to that particular company to say, I would like to review this. This is not companies just randomly sending me shit and going, I'll review this for you. Like, this is me doing research first and then reaching out. And it's the same thing with DistroKid. So I need to just be completely transparent that I reached out to DistroKid to ask them to sponsor my show. Why did I do that? Because I had been using DistroKid for a very, very long time. They're not sponsoring this show or anything. I'm just like being transparent here right now. So I reached out to them because I'd been using them for a long time. I'd already used other streaming services for many, many years. I've had my music on streaming services since way back in 2007. My music used to be on mp3.com, mp3.com.au, MySpace. I had a small deal with MySpace Records for a very small period of time. Anyway, I've had releases through small labels like Shock Records and stuff like that. And I asked DistroKid to sponsor me because I like what they do. So being transparent about that is needed to be said. But over this weekend, I've started to come to a bit of a conclusion that, or just a realization that I actually work for DistroKid. They don't sponsor me. I work for them. I am a face of them. I'm promoting them because I feel that they're good. Right? So getting that out the way. Should you release your music through distribution services? I can't answer that for you, can I? I can only tell you why I do it. And guess what? It's not to make money. It's not to make money because here's the deal. I'm sitting here every day trying to help you make music. I've made a conscious decision to look at this. Look at my studio, guys. I have a beast of a studio here. I've got drums over there. I've got like 10 guitars over here. I've got a computer Mac over here, instruments up the wazoo. I have what many people would say is a really cool studio, and I'm very grateful that I've purchased all this stuff. If I wasn't doing this, I would probably be making a lot more music, and I'd probably be more focused when I release music on streaming services and the like to put a lot of work into promoting it and trying to get more people listening to it. But no, I don't have the time to release. The irony, huh? The irony of finally having the gear to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and I don't have the time to do it because I would rather sit here and hopefully help other people get there. I feel like that I have had my time in the sun anyway, and I've got to tour and do so much cool stuff, right? But it's not that's not what we're talking about. But the reason I still release music through digital distribution is because I just like knowing that I can go into Apple Music or Spotify or anything, and my name is right next door to Madonna. It's right next door to Bruce Springsteen. It's right next door to Peter Gabriel. It's right next door to Metallica, Sepultura. It's right next door to Morbid Angel and Carcass and Ben Folds 5 and Faith No More and Mr. Bungle and all the bands that I love. I can at any time say to somebody, My music is right here. Go listen to it. Anybody at any time can find it anywhere, anytime, any month, any day, anywhere, on their phone, on their computer. And that is why I release music, not to make money, right? But why do you want to release music? I'm going to say some really cold hard. I started alluding to it before. I'm not saying it to upset people, but it just is the fucking reality. Let's get real. We have a fantastic community here on YouTube of musicians, and we have fantastic channels that share each other's music and promote each other's music every day. And I know people want to see this community grow and get bigger and bigger, but in the reality of things, of pockets of the internet, the likelihood of that happening and getting really big and all these people just all of a sudden mass coming in with the right intentions of supporting music and not starting drama and weird, right, is very unlikely. That is why there is the option of distribution companies. So, and look, communities have an amount of people that is tops, right? So you can say, let's just pull a number out of my ass right now. Say 1,000 people. 1,000 people is tops for this community that bounces across from channel to channel to channel to watch each other's music. And every now and again it grows, and so that's being fair, probably a little bit conservative as well. But that's it, and it's going to grow at a very small rate. So if you're only releasing music here to YouTube and bouncing to all the channels that play the songs, you're not gonna get the growth if you want that, right? So this is where digital distribution comes in. Now I know a few artists, right? A few artists who rarely pop into these communities on YouTube. And they may be in like places like GarageBand Users Group on Facebook or Pete's Create, Record, Release group. They rarely come onto YouTube. And last year, they got like 500,000 streams on Spotify. And they're not even a part of this. Why? It's because they are promoting their music on things like Spotify. They are focusing their promotion on Spotify and getting those songs on playlists and getting people to listen to them. Are they getting rich? No, they're fucking not. You're not going to get rich releasing your music through digital distribution unless something magical happens. It just is what it is. But the likelihood of getting more people listening to your music is going to be wider through digital distribution if you target and put work in to promoting there, right? You can release music on here's the deal, like YouTube's music app. I don't know if does anybody have YouTube's music app on their phone? Does anybody have it? Does anybody use it? It's very secondary to YouTube, the music app, because most people think of YouTube and think of the video streaming. Not a lot of people use the actual app. When you release music through digital distribution, music goes to Spotify and it goes to, Apple Music and Amazon, but it goes to YouTube Music as well. They're the topic channels, right, that get made. That's why the topic channels are created, because it goes to the YouTube Music app. See, there are some people who use it. Obviously, people are using it. There you go. Look, more people than what I thought. I don't use it because I have Apple Music. I pay for Apple Music. Sure, I pay for premium as well. But obviously, do I need a million ways to listen to music? No, I don't. I just listen. Most the same. If it gets released on YouTube Music, it's going to be on Apple Music. It's going to be on Spotify, because we have so many great streaming services to release our music, right? Now, why do you release music? Well, please tell me in the chat. Why do you release music? I've told you why I release music. I like making music for me. I don't really give a shit if anybody else likes it. I've never given a fuck if anybody likes my music. As you can tell, I play in several bands and they're all very obscure and very hard. Let me tell you, recently I found out that FMC gets an interesting reaction at DistroKid. And that made me very happy to know that FMC has DistroKid has their eyes on FMC. Very controversial band. So that more people can hear it than myself. Here's the question, Secret Legacy, and anybody who does release music through streaming services. Do you put much effort into like getting on playlists on Spotify or any of that kind of stuff? What are the things you've tried to do this? Because we have other avenues as well, like Bandcamp as well. Bandcamp is fantastic. And like I've heard people say, I don't release my music through distribution services, just Bandcamp. It's like, okay, so you've only got one testicle. That's fine. That's no problem. Like you could have two testicles if you released it off. Why not put it on Bandcamp as well as a digital distribution service? It only costs $22 a fucking year to have your music up there, right? There's not a lot of money to do that, to have it everywhere. Why not? You know, and look, there's even other places. I know I still have my music here. Let's go over here. So I still have music here on Reverb Nation. Does anyone use Reverb Nation? The most spammiest website of all time. But it still gets, look, I've still got like 13,063 fans for Dread Circus alone. So I've got all these reviews as well. Look at these. Read more reviews. Look at all these reviews I've got. People have left reviews for my music as well. Yeah, what a beautiful, painful aesthetic. The puzzle is an honest, self-reflective, lyrical work of art. Wow, geez, somebody's deluded. But yeah, the problem is with something like this, let me tell you, with Reverb Nation, one of the biggest problems with Reverb Nation is it's a circle jerk. Because it's all just musicians wanting more people to listen to their music, and they're all just musicians. There's fuck all fans on there. Kind of a little bit like this community in a way, how we're all musicians supporting each other. And the ratio of just listening people to us, musicians making the music, is disproportionate. I agree. I just wish that DistroKid would eventually work with Bandcamp so it would automatically add new releases. Well, you know, hey, here's the thing though. It's not going to, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I've been on Bandcamp for a long time. Here's why, one of the reasons I use Bandcamp still is because Apple don't want to release some of my songs for FMC because they're a bit touchy. Like one of the songs I released, let's show you, give you an example. Why not just get demonetized? You know me, I love getting demonetized each week. Let's go over here. All right, for example, FMC. FMC. So here's all my FMC albums. I tried to release this one through DistroKid and Apple rejected it. The Pure Anal Cosby Special Sauce Remix. Now, I was like, I wonder why they keep rejecting this song. It's not really a good song. And it was the artwork. It was totally the artwork. Look at that. So it's a picture of a woman sitting on a bed with blood and a thing of Rohypnol on a table with a a plate of spaghetti with a meatball with Bill Cosby's face imprinted into the meatball. Now, I thought that was hilarious. But Apple and Spotify didn't share the same humor as me. Thankfully, Bandcamp lets me put anything up there. It's not like it was a good song, let me tell you. But Bandcamp is fantastic because Bandcamp is the underground. This is what I like about Bandcamp. It's the underground kind of label. It's where you find the stuff that John West rejects mostly, the stuff that you can't get anywhere else, like a lot of death metal bands. I can't imagine why it was rejected either. I know, right, Viv? LOL indeed. Bloody Apple and their style guide. Now, look, I've already talked about Spotify on one of these rants before, and the minuscule amount of money that you make. All right, we all know about this. We all know this shit. The point I'm trying to get to today, right, is that firstly, I think trying to maintain some of these old school ways of promoting, and as I said at the beginning, I love the idea of having these stickers of your QR code, and everywhere you go, just every now and again putting one out in the world. Why not? How can it not? It can't hurt. Like, it can't ruin you. You never know what weirdo's going to walk up to a telephone pole and scan a QR code. You just don't know, right? So I really like that idea, and I love the idea of having music everywhere you can. Why not just have it everywhere, even though it may not make you any money at all. Most of us who release music through digital distribution are running at a loss. Let's be honest. But isn't it fun, to have your music there? I love it. I don't know. I get off on it. I sit there some nights and I get out a wet nap and I'm laying there looking at it on Apple Music. No, that doesn't happen. But I really do get off on it, knowing it. You know what it's like? It's like the modern day era of having the divider at the record store when you're flipping through records and you see your little divider. Oh, I remember the first time we released an album. I went to JB Hi-Fi and we were going through the albums, and there was my album, and it had a little card, it had a little divider. It was awesome, right? And that's why I think releasing music through digital distribution is rad. And again, if you want to take it to the next level and get people into your music, we're going to do another show on how to, probably not a rant, ways to try and get your music noticed on Spotify and such. And what I'm going to do, instead of me telling you how to do it, I'm going to go and scour all of these websites and YouTube channels that tell you all the best practices, and I'm going to take a whole bunch of the best ones, I think, and we'll do a show and we'll put it together, and we'll do that here as well. Yeah. So many people come through Facebook, Instagram, promising that they can boost you, but the truth is they're just after your money. Yeah, don't fall for that shit, man. Listen, here's the biggest thing. Musicians, hi Charlie Gabolden as well. Listen, this is the truth. Musicians forever have been the punching bag of people who want to make money out of us, right? Musicians have always been the poorest of poor, just like actors and anybody who's in the entertainment industry or art industry. We have always had leeches waiting to suck us dry of everything that we have, every emotion, every little bit of hard work we put into. The things have not changed. We're not in so when you see people get upset by, oh my God, I'm not making you money, this ain't new. When Faith No More were touring here on their Angel Dust album, I interviewed Mike Patton here in Melbourne, and basically said, "Oh, you must be really stoked that you've got a #1 single here in Australia, doing really well." And Mike Patton responded with, "Yeah, we're loving it, but we're all still eating ramen noodles in the hotel." So, when you do meet these people, you will find out that it's not all fucking sunshine and lollipops, even for big artists that are making it. It's just not the way it's sold. So the point I'm getting at is I want to see you release your music and get more music out. That's what this channel is all about encouraging people to make more music, get better at the craft, find little things, even though I hear this all the time here on this channel, but you only do iOS. If you think that you come here and you can't learn anything from this channel because I just do iOS, you've got rocks in your head, right? Because iOS, the iPads have the same power as a computer, as a Mac, as a PC. It's all the same shit. Interfaces, all the same shit, right? Everything's fucking same. We're all on the same playing field now. Everything's the same. What I try and do here on this channel is show you apps, but I'm not trying to sell you the apps. I'm just trying to show you how you can use them reverbs. They're all the same things. Reverbs, delays, compressors. It's all the same shit, just different types of apps that are coming out, different types of compressors, different ways of compressing. If you think you can't learn anything, go ahead. Be on your merry way. And lastly, the other thing I wanted to talk about, finally wrap up, is, spread out. YouTube isn't just the only community. You're probably seeing this. It's really hard to get subscribers as a musician on YouTube. It really is hard work. It's a dog. I did it for years and years. I've been on here for 18 years. And my channel, for the most part, was just music. But before I started doing How to App and doing all this stuff during the 2020, I only had like 380 subscribers. It's hard slog releasing music and getting people to follow you. But you will hit a ceiling in this community here on YouTube. Throughout all these channels that play your music, you are going to hit a ceiling regardless of how many people are in this community. So if you actually want growth, you have to look past here. Now, I'm not saying if you want to make money. I'm saying if you want more eyes on your music, more ears listening to your music, then you have to look past YouTube and make these things work together. Right? Because it's really hard to see an artist in this community who just releases music. It's a very rare occasion to have 10,000 subscribers. It just is what it is. I know I hate the saying and hate saying it, but that's what it is. But you should release as much music as you can that you love to make. Don't make music for other people, but release it on many platforms as you can. And be happy doing it. That's the most important thing. So I don't want to be down on digital distribution. It's fantastic, From this, you know how long it takes to make something like this? Go and record back in the day, hire a studio. We recorded to tape, analog tape to record this, and then get the tapes made and make the covers and then try and get places to sell them and get nothing back monetarily. But fucking hell, look, you can tell how much I love releasing music. I still hold on to all my demos that I'm so proud of making, all the writing on them and everything. Digital distribution, analog distribution, it's all good. Get your fucking music out there. Keep pursuing it. Keep pushing across multiple platforms. Don't worry about the money. That's my rant for today. I'm going to play today's featured artist. Thanks for hanging out with me as always. We got some cool apps coming out this week. I'm going to put all the shows up. Gary Hubbs is my special guest on the show this week. We're having a rewind with Gary Hubbs, so please come and join us for that. Very exciting stuff. Today's featured artist is PAL, known as Paul. He is rad. He's got a track that was just released a day or so ago called Take It or Not. Pete Johns will be up next, and I'll dump you all over to Pete Johns. Let's go. Let's Oge. This is PAL, Paul, Take It or Not. Do the things that make you happy, my friends. Mistakes make you better, and let's all continue to rise together and support each other, and let's just release music and have fun. Let's Oge. PAL. Boom.
Say when we know that it's right? Will we ever know which way to go? Can you be all that I really need in my life when I take it all out on you? I know it's clear. I'll stay here. I know it's clear. And I'll stay here. I ain't gotta let it out this time. And I ain't gonna tell you when. And I ain't gonna let you go this time. Be the best of friends. If the light doesn't shine, and I know that it's mine, will I ever be back?